Musicians love their instruments, and let me tell you how much I love this thing. This is my upright grand piano. It is an antique. It is amazing. It was built before the 1900s. I love this thing so much. It's amazing. It was a gift from my husband. In this video, I'm gonna just take you along on the journey of restoring this piano as we go. Welcome to Celebration State, where we help Christian creatives to grow in their creativity and in their love for God as well. This is definitely a budget DIY. There was not a lot that I could do currently over the big damage areas, but what I did use was just this Old English scratch cover for dark wood. I love the dark wood and I think it covers really nicely. I also used steel wool, which I found at Home Depot. And then I also used gloves. And then I also used paper towel. You could also use a fancy cloth. I just wanted to use a paper towel. And this whole process was really based on some advice that a piano tuner had given me over 10 years ago. So just trusting that he knew what he was doing with old woods, I just went ahead and went for it. This piano has been with us a long time. And when we got it, as you imagine, it was used. And there was actually a lot of damage that was already done on the piano. All the big damage was already done by the time we got it, but it's just so amazing. When Joshua brought it home for me, I just loved it. The sound is just incredible. There's just something old-timey about it. It just kind of reminds me of an old Western. There's something just in the acoustics that even like a fancy electric keyboard just isn't quite as awesome as this thing is. But it's been a long time since I've really taken care of it. We would dust it and we would still use it, but always the intention was once we get into a house of our own, then I'll be able to restore the piano, we'll tune it, we'll get it settled. And that time waiting, it just turned into such a long amount of time. And here we are, we're in a lovely house rental, and still I just want to give it some attention. So first I began with the steel wool, and what I did was I just went over the entire piano with the steel wool, and especially over the tough areas that had either paint or tape from when it had been moved or how it had been sitting. So just over the whole thing, I ran steel wool over it. This was very dusty, and I would really recommend using a face covering when you're doing this. I just wasn't gonna worry about it that day, but I did end up using some gloves because it was getting a little bit rough on my fingers as I was rubbing the steel wool all over the piano. For my piano, I also ended up using kind of an X-Acto knife, sort of a razor, because it had tape that had gotten stuck on the wood for many, many years. And because of that, it just wasn't coming off with the steel wool. I had to use something a little bit more exact and a little bit more extreme. And once I did that, I was able to make a lot more progress on the tape. After that, I wiped everything down with a damp cloth, and then I put the Old English on. So this stuff is amazing. It's awesome. The only thing is that the bottle kept on dripping, and so at one point I definitely dropped the bottle. Okay, 2 points. I definitely dropped the bottle, and that was a little bit of drama, but hey, what do you do? So I did wipe everything down. What you're supposed to do is you put it on the wood and then you rub it around until the scratch area is covered, and then also just the whole area begins to look smooth. And so I just did that over the whole piano. Because I couldn't put my piano someplace separate that would be clear and away from other things, it had to be stuck on this wall because it is just such an enormous, heavy piano. I did put paper on the walls to make sure that I wasn't going to get any of the polish on this nice paint on this house. Then after every surface was rubbed with the Old English polish on a cloth, I went ahead and I wiped it down with just a dry cloth and just smoothed it all out, got off any extra polish that was there. So So this is the finished polishing job that I did on my piano. And once again, it really does need a whole lot more. And that's the ultimate goal. But this is nice for now. And it's something that we're really excited about finally getting done. This instrument means so much to me. Let me know in the comments, any musicians out there, do you have an instrument that is your favorite? This one is my favorite, but we also have other instruments that maybe we'll do future restoration videos on. I've got this harmonium that is gorgeous, but it just does not hold air. So if you know of any good harmonium repair people in the Nashville area, please let me know in the comments as well. If you want to come on future creative adventures with us, please hit that subscribe button and also turn on notifications. Please like this video also. It helps our video get support and get noticed. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Be so blessed.